Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today I am bringing you a video on what to do on your first day in the Winter Convergence Festival in New World 1.2. Of course, you will all know by now, the update is finally here. If you do want to watch the patch notes video I did yesterday, that will include all the information you need to know about the update. But this video today is going to be on things that you need to be doing on your first day, or should be doing on your first day, to make sure that you get well ahead of the crowd and kind of get in tune with how these new systems are going to be working. Now, there's going to be some fairly basic stuff, and then we're going to move on to some, slightly more tricky things that you want to start to get the hang of from day one to put you at a good position. So first things first, press tab. You can see all of your different kind of weapons and armors and their respective expertise level. Now, of course, you can see the level I've got on. So, for example, on the helmet here, we've got 600 gear score helmet, but you can see that my watermark is 579, and that has now been changed, of course, from watermark to the expertise system. Each weapon, when you swap it out, you'll see the Void Gauntlet 515, very bad. But if we swap out something like the Rapier, we go back up to 559, etc., etc. So, although you might have higher level ones, like I've got the Dark Sky crafted, it will depend on what expertise drop I get to how far up that is. Now, you can also see how terrible the jewelry is right here. So what I'm going to be explaining to you guys today, one thing is going to be about the Gypsum Orbs and how you can use those to upgrade. So, for example, the presents you get from the big trees in the center, which for Reekwater here is just over behind the flag there, you guys can see it. And if you pick up 3 of those per day, the first 3 you get will give you a diamond gypsum and, of course, a lockbox alongside the tokens. The lockbox will give you 100 gold and a silver ingot. And, of course, the diamond gypsum can be crafted into a gypsum orb. Now, the amethyst gypsum is from clearing corruption breaches. I managed to go ahead and do this earlier, so I had 7 ready for today's video. So I'm going to show you guys how crafting a gypsum orb in Eternum or New World 1.2 actually works. So when you've got the required materials, for example, the amethyst here, you can see I've got 7 of 7. If I scroll up to maybe the emerald, I haven't got the expedition ones yet, and I haven't got the obsidian one yet, which is of course from killing open world bosses in elite zones, for example. But when you do have the right amount, you'll be able to see here that you can craft this. So once you go ahead and craft the gypsum orb there, you can see that that is now done. And we click continue as normal on the crafting station. Now, one thing you'll note here, it says that these are on a 22-hour lockout for crafting. So although you can earn them again in 18 hours, do be aware that there is a lockout for that. And as you guys will see earlier, I did an amulet one, and you'll be able to see again that that is on 18 hours, but that was 22 at the time I did it a few hours ago when this went live, just to test out how the systems actually work. So again, you can see that you can only craft those every 22 hours. So do bear that in mind. You're not going to be able to craft them as soon as you get them. And of course, you can only get these materials for it once every 18 hours. So 1 item per sort of 24 hours or 22. So in terms of this, you could do, head, chest plate, gloves, legs and boots, and then both your weapons for 7. And of course, at the moment, we've got an additional 8th one for the event, so you could do maybe a piece of jewelry. Like me, I've started with the jewelry because they are my lowest pieces, but I could also get one of my main weapons up. So for example, right now I am using the life staff. Haven't been using it all too long, so what I will do there is go ahead and craft one of those. And you guys will see there that it crafts a gypsum cast. So then you go ahead, move out of this one. Costs very minimal amount of gold. Thankfully, they changed that for us. We can go in here, open this up, and you will be able to see that you get given a life staff, and it's a guaranteed increase of the score there. And if we go out of that, it tells me at the top of the screen now is at 548 for life staff drops, which is 3 up from my last one, which is really, really good. And it does have a minimum it can go up by, which I believe is 2, and a maximum of 5 from these. So again, really, really cool. So again, if I wanted to do the life staff continuously, I would have to wait 22 hours now to be able to do another life staff cast. But of course, there is multiple other things I can do today with the other types of gypsum that I haven't yet crafted. And of course, it tells you on the craftings thing down in the bottom right here if they are on cooldown or not. So that's a lot of information about the gypsum system. Now what I'm going to move on to is the crafting or the trade skill aptitude system. So this is my actual stats in game, and we're going to hide the fishing. You guys can kind of get a little inkling as to what that level is there. Very, very low. But if we have a look at something like mining, as you guys will see, I've got this level 200, and I've already progressed slightly towards this, which gives me a little bit of progress towards this first cache here. You get a cache at the first increment, at the second increment, and at the third increment as well. Now, these are really, really important because obviously once per day they can give you a certain type of gypsum. You only need 1 of those to be able to craft that gypsum orb. So once you do get 1 of those per day, you are going to be able to craft that. But of course, it might not come from the first cache. Fingers crossed for you all though. And then of course, you could need to get a second or a third. You can do this across multiple skills or just 1. And when you do get these, they will give you crafting related or refining related or whatever skill it is related items, as well as craft mods, as well as resources, resources, reagents, and all that other kind of stuff. Patterns, the new patterns can be included there, and of course schematics or recipes as well, which is the real big thing there where you want to do these. Now obviously you want to be leveling these up, especially any that you've got 200. Try and get one done per day so that you can at least get the Gypsum Orb from that done and dusted, because it is going to be very beneficial to do, and that's going to be really important. You can do this in any of your 200 level skills, but obviously I've just shown you guys mining, so I've got a bit of progress there. Harvesting also have a bit of progress with. Again, you can do this in any skill. So if you've got weaponsmith in 200 like me, for example, if people ask you to start crafting those weapons for them, you can see that you're going to get up to this pretty quickly once you start doing that, because again, it will lap very sharply. And I believe it's a similar amount of XP to what it costs from level 199 to 200. So again, still quite a lot of XP to fully fill it up, but at least you get 3 prizes along the way there. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you're getting on top of these winter village quests. I'm currently on a one where I have to kill some yetis that are spread out across the map, which is kind of a cool quest, but also you're going to be getting the tokens from doing this. This is really important because you want to start leveling up your reputation with the event rep, as it is going to be something where you want to get to level 5 ideally. If you haven't seen my rewards guide to this one, which I did do a few days ago on the channel, you guys can check that out if you want to, but long story short for that, tier 5 of course has the best rewards, so you are going to want to be leveling that up. And of course, once you do get these lost presents, it's 3 for 1 token, and then of course the Gleamite as well you can get for the tokens, and you get them from the quests as well as the presents you get from the main Christmas tree in each settlement. Like I said, you do 3 a day for the Gypsum, for the event Gypsum, but you can do multiple per day in order to get the tokens from it. And of course, when they level up, they give you higher tier presents, which in turn drop higher amounts of the tokens, and sometimes even a premium token as well, which is really nice. Now, another really important thing that has obviously been released with the 1.2 patch is actually going to be the brand new perks that we talked about just a couple of days ago here on the channel, and actually these are going to be selling for a lot. So if we actually have a look on here, I'm going to try and find one of the new ones for us now, and of course these are very sought after, so you'll probably be shocked if you do actually manage to find any. So let's take a look at thwarting strikes, for example, and if we go off that, you'll see that there is one rapier on here with thwarting strikes, which is only 100 gold right now, but it is only a 509 rapier with decent stats. But of course, you know, thwarting strikes there, it says deal 9.7% additional targets while you have grit active. So again, these are going to be things that you're going to want to pick up. If you can get any decent pieces of gear with those new perks on, that's going to be really good. Another way to check this is going onto the gold bars or ingot pile type looking thing on the side here, clicking onto the craft mods, and then clicking onto, you know, whichever ones you want. So attribute items, for example, and you can scroll down here and see. If you want to find out which ones are which, you can go onto the respective crafting table and have a little look. So for example, if you do want to see what some of these new ones are, for example, Plague's Crits, which is going to be a really sought after ones, which is where critical strikes against the target below 50% health inflict disease for 6 seconds, reducing healing effectiveness on the target by 10 to 50%, which is going to be really powerful. And you can see that is called Drop of Blessed Water there. So what you can then do is obviously go back up to the trading post and see whether that item is for sale currently on your server. So I'll go and check if there's any on the auction house for mine here. And as you guys can see here, there is actually one on there, which is really decent for 750 gold. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that because that is something I certainly want to be getting my hands on, and I've got a feeling that these are only going to increase in price over the coming days. But as you guys can now see, I've got the Plagued Crits one down here, which is critical strikes against the target below 50% health, inflict disease for 6 seconds, reducing healing effectiveness on the target by 10%, which is really nice, and again will be something really good for any ranged players, any rapier players, anything like that. It's going to be really cool. Pretty much any player could use this effectively, and I'm certainly going to use this in a craft to see if I can get a cool weapon. So I would certainly recommend, as people don't really know the value of these yet. As you can see, that's probably one of the better ones from the patch that was added into the game, and I got that for 750 gold with tax, about 770 gold. So it's really worth checking on the next day or two on your servers if you can manage to pick up any of these good crafting mods for very cheap amounts of gold. Other than that, guys, that is going to be it for things to do on your first day. Excluding what I've mentioned here, of course, just go around, explore the new systems, and have fun with the event. The event seems to be a lot of fun so far for me, and I've been really enjoying doing the quests for it. Try and find some of these icy caves because they are very cool as well. And of course, try and get some of your festive outfits going when you do level up in the Winter Convergence event and you get access to those tier 5 drops. There's a nice little skin you can get on there as well, which is pretty cool. So try and get some festive stuff going. Other than that, enjoy the patch. Other than that, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. So if you have enjoyed and found this useful, please do leave me a like on today's videos. It really just helps support me and my content here on YouTube. If you are new and you want to see more New World content, then make sure you're subscribing to the channel down below by pressing the red subscribe button, and make sure that you've got the notification bells on, as I do upload every single day with all things New World. So I would love to have you here as part of my channel community. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time, and I will catch you again tomorrow with tomorrow's upload. So thank you for watching. Take care and peace.